Hello student, in the video lecture series of heat transfer, in this video we are going to solve the numerical based on cylinder. As we seen how to treat the composite structure in a slab, now in this video we are treat for cylinder. Now you can pause the video over here so as to you can write it down the numerical. Now I am extracting the data from this numerical to on my page. So first of all we read the statement. A steel pipe line has the inner diameter of 100 mm and outer diameter of 110 mm. So we have inner radius of pipe is 50 mm and outer radius of pipe is 110, that means 55 mm. Keep it in mind, be cautious at the time of taking the inputs, otherwise though your procedure is correct, your answer is wrong. Then what they say next, its thermal conductivity, that means K of pipe is 50 watt per meter Kelvin. Now next, it is covered with the two layer of thickness of insulation 50 mm each. That means this is inner pipe and this is outer pipe. On this pipe there are thickness, two insulation are provided, each having 50 mm thickness. So I have first of all draw the two cylinder. This is 50 mm and this is again 50 mm. Assume that this radius is uniformly distributed. Okay, so this is my R1, this is my R2, this is my R3 and this is my R4. R1 50 mm, R2 55 mm. So obviously this 50 mm thickness, so I want to add into R2, so I will get R3, it will becomes 105 mm, and R4 again 50, it will becomes 155 mm. So I will have these four radius with us. Now next statement, the thermal conductivity of inner insulation. So thermal conductivity of inner insulation, I call it as a EI first, which is 0.06 watt per meter Kelvin, and second having the thermal conductivity K second, I call it as a 0.12. So you can see this value, this is the double of this one. Now in this numerical we also try to understand that what is the effect of this thermal conductivity. So first we read the statement, then I will again explain this thing. Calculate the heat loss per meter length and the interface between the interface temperature between the two layers. Now intentionally I drawn some dot over here so as to you will get first insulation and here somewhat rounds, so you will get the difference. So in between this I will first of all give the number. This is your T1, this is your T2, this is your T3 and this is your T4. Now they not given the center temperature and they not given the atmosphere temperature, so convection heat transfer or convective thermal resistance is absent or we want to neglect. Always remember that H is not given, temperature are not given, then we have to neglect it. They given the temperature from the surface of pipe onto the outer surface of pipe, so we want to take only that much of resistances. Always remember, this is very important. Now they given the temperature, calculate the heat loss from this pipe and also the temperature at the interface of this. So what is the interface of this one? This is the first insulation and this is the second. So what is the interface in between that? T3. So they wanted to ask you Q and they wanted to ask you to find out T3, Q and T3. Is that clear? Now heat loss per meter length and the interface temperature between the two layer of insulation. If the temperature of the inside surface of the pipe T1 is given, that is 250 degrees Celsius, and the outside surface of insulation is 50 degrees Celsius, that means T4 is given, that is 50 degrees Celsius. Now they ask you, once you find it out this heat transfer and T3, now if the outer insulation is replaced by inner and inner by the outer insulation, estimate the percentage decrease or increase. On that we have to comment, along with that how much heat transfer will be take place. So first of all we find it out the heat transfer, then we replace, this will be at the outside and outside will be at the inner side, and again we calculate Q and T3 and we comment on this numerical. Is that clear? Now we extract the data. Now we start the numerical. I keep it outside this for a while. So how many resistances are there? This convection is present but they not provide temperature and convective heat transfer coefficient. So I neglect this one. So I start from T1 to T2. This is due to the pipe. So first resistance is due to the pipe. I call it as an RTH1. This is due to the pipe. Second resistance due to the first insulation, RTH2. And third resistance is due to the again second insulation, so RTH3. So there are how many resistances? There are 3 resistances from T1 to T4. So T1 minus T4 is an potential difference due to that Q amount of heat flowing through these 3 resistances. Now we find it out one by one. So first one is an RTH1 is equal to, here heat is transferred in a radial day. Always remember that when the heat transfer will be take place in an axial direction, though it is cylinder, at that time I use the formula of slab. But if same heat is transferred in a radial direction like this, then I use the cylindrical form. Okay, this is very important. So now heat is transferred in a radial direction, so I use the formula of cylinder. So what is the RTH1 for cylinder? We write it down, thermal resistance for cylinder, ln of R2 upon R1 divided by 2 pi Lk. This K for insulation and L for length of the pipe. They already given that for unit length, so L we are treated as an 1 meter. Okay, so our formula will becomes ln, what is the R2? 55 mm into 10 raised to minus 3, which is get cancelled to the at the denominator, so there is no need to write down 10 raised to minus 3 at numerator and denominator. 2 pi L is 1, so there is no need to write down, but I write it down 1 into K, so as to you can understand, K for pipe. So what is the K for pipe? It is 50. So we have a value of RTH1 is equal to, I have an value already, I solved this numerical, so I directly write it down the value, so as to our time is get saved. Degree Celsius per watt. This is RTH. So this is the resistance generated by the pipe material to flow the heat. Now second resistance, it is offered by the first insulation. So that is RTH2. That is again it is in radial direction, so R2 upon R1 divided by 2 pi Lk. This is K insulation first. So ln, sorry, here R2, this is for pipe, R2 and R1. And this is we are finding out for the first insulation. So for that, what are the radius? R3 and R2. So this will be get replaced by R3 upon R2. ln of R3 upon R2 upon 2 pi Lk. So what is the R3? R3 will becomes what? 105 divided by 155 divided by R3 is 105 divided by R2 is 55, extremely sorry, 55 divided by 2 pi L. What is the L? 1. And what is the K for insulation? First, 0.06. So I will get the value of RTH2 also, which is equal to 1.71523 degrees Celsius per watt. Now RTH3, which is due to the second insulation, and for that radius are R4 and R3. Don't make a mistake in radius. Already I have done the mistake. Okay, but you don't do the mistake. R4 divided by R3 divided by 2 pi L K. This is K insulation by second. So what is ln? R4 155 divided by 105 divided by 2 pi L. And what is the K insulation for second? So it will be an 0.12. And for the L we already take it as an 1. So we have an RTH3 value is equal to 0.51654 degrees Celsius per watt. Now if I add all these one, RTH equivalent, because all in series, so RTH1 plus RTH2 plus RTH3, I will have a cumulative answer is nothing but 2.23207 degrees Celsius per watt. Now from that we can easily calculate Q is equal to what is the inner side T1 temperature, that is 250 minus outer side temperature 50 divided by whole resistances 2.23207. So I will have a heat transfer is an 89.6 watt. Now we want to find out this T3 temperature. Okay, now to find out this T3 temperature, we require only only one temperature, known temperature. So T1 is known, T4 is. If I am taking T1, I want to take two resistance. If I am taking T4, only one resistance in between them. So I will choose that one, T3 minus T4. So Q is equal to T3 minus T4 divided by only one resistance. Which one is? That is nothing but the RTH3. So RTH3, what is the value of T3 that we want to find out? What is the value of T4? 50. What is the value of RTH3? Is 51654, which is equal to, what is the value of Q already calculated? 89.6 watt. So from that we will get a value of T3, which is equal to 96.28 degrees Celsius. This is the answer of up to this one. Now if we replace, as in a problem they said, if we replace the inner insulation by outer and outer by inner, what is the effect on heat transfer, and what should be the incremental or decremental heat transfer will be, or how much will be an heat transfer will be decrease or increase in terms of percentage. So what happen? Again resistance will be same. This R2H will become at RTH3 and RTH3 will be an RTH2, but at that time radius will be get changed. So RTH2 and RTH3 value will be get changed, but pipe as it is present. So RTH1 value is same. So we want to just find it out. For the second case, RTH2, see pipe, what is the pipe pipe thermal resistance? R2 upon R1, 2 pi Lk. R2 will be same, R1 will be same, and thermal conductivity of pipe will be same. So RTH1 will be same. Now RTH2, here R3 will be same, R2 will be same. 2 pi L K. K is different. Now here we want to use the K second because we are replacing outer insulation to the inner. So here we want to take the K insulation like this. RTS2 ln of R3 upon R2 divided by 2 pi Lk insulation second. So it will becomes ln 105 divided by 105 55, not 155, 55. 2 pi L is 1 and K insulation second having a value of 0. I think 0.12. So RTH2 is equal to, I have a value of RTH2 is an 0.858 degree Celsius watt. Okay, like that I find it out. RTH3 ln of R4 upon R3 divided by 2 pi Lk. Now K insulation first because we replace it. Ln of 155 divided by 105 divided by 2 pi L is 1 and K insulation now 0.06. That's why it is get changed. Over here we take a 0.12. That's why this value and this value RTH3 value will be not same. So we will have a value of it is an 1.0336. Okay, so I can easily find it out Q, which is Q is equal to, capital Q is equal to T1 minus T4 divided by RTH1 plus RTH2 plus RTH3. So which is equal to, I take it at below so as to it is get accommodated. T1 is nothing but 250 minus 50 divided by 0.003 plus 0.858 plus 1.0336. So I will get the Q is equal to 105.7 watt. Now if I want to find out this interfacial temperature in between these two layers, that is T3, so I want to again take Q is equal to T3 minus T4 divided by the third resistance, that is 1.0336. Now Q value 105.7 watt. T4 is already known, that is nothing but 50 degrees Celsius. So I will get a value of T3 which is equal to 159.25 degrees Celsius. Now compare this heat transfer. In second case, when I change the insulation first with second and second with the first, at that time heat transfer is 105 and in first case it is an 89. That means heat transfer rate will be get increased. Interfacial temperature, as the heat transfer is increased in second case, that's why the intermediate temperature in between two insulation also will be get increased, because heat transfer is more, so temperature will be obviously more. So what is the conclusion from it? Whatever may be the insulation available with you, always you have to check that what is the thermal conductivity of it, and lower the thermal conductivity of insulation that you have to provide nearer to the heat source first, and then higher thermal conductivity material you have to provide after that. If you provide higher thermal conductivity material first to the heat source and then lower thermal conductivity material after that, then the heat transfer rate will be more. So if you want to stop the heat to get lost into the atmosphere, first of all use lower and lower thermal conductivity material, that is insulator, to the heating source, and then next one is your higher thermal conductivity material. So what is the loss? That we can easily find it out. I call it as this is second case and this is first case, so 105 heat loss in percentage, that will be a nothing but increment in heat loss, because obviously here is 89, here is an 105, so heat is get increased, so percentage increase in heat transfer, increasing heat transfer, that is Q2 minus Q1 divided by Q1 into 100%. So by putting the value 105.7 minus 89.6 divided by 89.6 into 100%, the percentage increase in heat transfer or heat loss is equal to 17.96%. So this much of heat loss will be get increases. This much of heat loss will be get increases if you are putting 0.12 material, 0.12 thermal conductivity, which is having more thermal conductivity, first to the pipe, and then low thermal conductivity you put it at the outer side, then heat loss will be get increased by 18, near about 18%. And if you put it 0.06, which is low thermal conductivity material, more good as a good insulator, nearer to the pipe, and then after that higher thermal conductivity material at the outer side, you save 18% loss of heat from the pipe. That's it. Thank you.